Yo, what's up, AAA family? It's your boy, Coach Smook, here with the Coach Smook Reacts channel, man. Make sure y'all are subscribed over here. If you're not subscribed to the main channel, make sure you check it out. We're going to drop the link and drop a little thumbnail thingy. Make sure you subscribe to all three channels, providing a variety of content for your entertainment needs. Today's reaction video, we have crazy story I read about years ago. But man, it's crazy because it came up on YouTube, and I'm always on YouTube. So basically, this channel, this is what it's designed for. We're just gonna react. So I decided before I started watching it, I got into it for about 30 seconds. I said, let me react to it because I haven't seen it, like the story behind it. I've read about it, but I don't remember seeing like an actual documentary or a series done about it. Hey, let's get into it real quick.
He's definitely a one of one. This is some shit you'll see on the movie.
Now I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like when I first seen the story, right? I was like, bro, this just sounds like somebody.
Everybody said.
Yeah, I
One
hear
of the
good.
coaches they played him said that he was unstoppable out on the court. It sounds like the plot of a movie. In fact, I think it was one back in the 90s.
He gamed the system since August at not one, but three different schools.
Three schools. Yeah, I read about this.
25-year-old man enrolled in Dallas ISD as a student.
He fooled us. He did. And it's painful to even say that.
They feel like stupid that they didn't realize it.
Was he trying to get an education, or I don't know. 25. We old.
Was he trying to get an education?
Sidney Bouvier Gilstrap Portley was born on November 16, 1992 in Dallas, Texas, to his parents Angela and Sidney Sr. His father was incarcerated at the time of his birth, so he, his mother, and his grandmother moved around for a few months before they settled into the 6-4 Ferguson Projects in East Dallas, which is an area well known for his gangs and his drug dealing.
And we out here all day, every day, slapping in. Every day, I ain't gonna lie, I got my bank account.
The drug dealer would hit close to home for him when his father, while he was around, would actually make Sidney help him sell marijuana.
Oh, his daddy made him sell weed.
He excelled in all sports, but his early love for LeBron James
Put it in the
gravitated
pamper.
towards
Go
basketball
back and
at the
see
age
what
of
that
11.
said. Hold on, what did it say?
He showed early promise, with people in the neighborhood comparing to make Sidney help him sell marijuana.
What he said? We was putting it in our underwear, and he would send us to the door and stuff like that. Whoa, dang, daddy, that's how we moving, pops. That's messed up, bro.
Marijuana.
Ain't nothing wrong with weed.
He excelled in all sports, but his early love for LeBron James made him gravitate towards basketball at the age of 11. He showed early promise, with people in the neighborhood comparing him to Baron Davis, Monte Ellis, and Josh Smith.
That's
when it was time
three
for high school,
different,
his father saw his talent and convinced Sidney to move in with
players
him in Plano, Texas, so he can attend Plano Vines High School. His father thought that getting him away from his rough environment in Ferguson would be good for him. Plus, he thought that he would be able to dominate all the suburban kids there in basketball. His time in Plano didn't last long, however, because his father would end up being arrested again, which led to him moving back with his mother and transferring to North Mesquite High School back in Dallas, where he would play junior varsity basketball as a freshman. Sidney's immaturity would get the best of him at North Mesquite High, throwing the ball into the stands when he didn't like calls made by the refs. He would get into fights. He showed up drunk to a game and impregnated his girlfriend.
Dang.
On top of all
drunk
that,
to a game. I can't lie. I remember I'm from Alabama. We had cats showing up smelling like weed, high as hell. I think we got drunk going to our game, my sophomore year, football season. We weren't really drunk. Everybody just sipped out of this bottle full of moonshine, and it hit a lot of us.
He had a reputation for being a selfish player that had more of a playground style of basketball. The final straw came his senior season in a game where he got into a shouting match with a fan in the stands, which led to his coach kicking him off the team before the playoffs began. He would graduate from North Mesquite High in 2011, but he still wanted to chase his basketball dreams.
Sidney Bouvier Gilstrap Portley.
Hey, North
So the
Mesquite
next
had
2
some
years,
fathers,
he would try to do things the right way, bouncing around for a few different college teams and semi-pro teams.
I went to Texas Wesleyan. I played at Eastfield. I played at DCC. I played at Sagood. I done transferred like 5 colleges.
Dang. Dang.
Get old after a while.
I bet.
Yeah, you getting the same results every time. What I'm gonna keep doing that for? Then I play for 3 semi-pro teams, same results. Like, yeah, that ain't working out.
Man, if it ain't working out, clearly it's you, fool. Like, you probably just need to go be working at the warehouse, Walmart distribution center or something.
He would seemingly give up on his basketball dreams and enter the workforce to support himself and his son, who was born in 2014, but he would still play basketball at the local rec centers, where the high school kids there would ask him if he could help them with their game. One of the kids would ask Sydney, who was years removed from high school, if he would join his AAU team, the Texas Elite Ballers, as a player. AAU is for kids that are 18 and under, but if you guys know about AAU, it's lawless over there. They don't really verify a lot of paperwork, and they just want their money. It's unknown exactly how well he played in the tournament, but one of his teammates clearly had fun with Sydney because he suggested that it would be fun if they played together on the Skyline High School team.
Ain't no way.
Sydney brushed the statement off in the moment, but whoever this kid was planted a seed in Sydney's mind that would change his life.
Ain't no way. Imagine a middle school kid asking me to come to their AAU game, be like, hey, can you play with us? Just this one game. And you know, most these AAU tournaments now, man, they just showcases. They just for kids to get out there and possibly get a look. Like, it's social media area, right? Everything's an opportunity. Everywhere is an exposure and an opportunity. But imagine that, man. Coach Smook go out there. Let's say I'm 35 now. 35-year-old Coach Smook go out there, cut the beard off and everything. Play with a 15U squad, 16U squad. A lot of them kids got full beards, though. Hair bumps and all. Just saying. I got a baby beard. Back to school, ain't no way. It's going to be good. Hey,
Sydney playing in that AAU tournament made him realize 2 things. 1, that he still had the talent to succeed in basketball. And 2, that he could actually pass as a high schooler. Then he had the idea. If he could sneak his way into playing some high school games, he would be able to get some game film and show it to some professional teams overseas and hopefully have a pro basketball career. He called around.
This is funny, yo. This is a funny plan. Oh, man.
To some schools and asked what was necessary for a student to enroll, and this is how we found a major loophole.
Hurricane Harvey is ripping into the Gulf Coast. Residents of Texas, Mississippi, and Louisiana now bracing for the worst.
An historic flood disaster in southeast Texas is likely to continue for days or even weeks. The news is not good there this morning. Rescue crews worked all night long in Houston, pulling stranded people out of vehicles and homes.
I remember that.
Most of America's 4th largest city is now underwater. Radar shows no end to the rain from Tropical Storm Harvey, which made landfall as a Category 4 hurricane more than 48 hours ago.
The summer of 2017 saw the most active American hurricane season ever, and it started to reach its peak on August 17th when Hurricane Harvey began to form. It started in the Caribbean as just a tropical storm, and then as days went on, it made its way northwest and became much stronger as it approached the United States. By August 26th, it turned into a full-blown Category 4 hurricane with maximum wind speeds of 130 miles per hour, and it would hit the southern part of Texas that morning, reaching cities like Austin and Houston.
Yep.
These areas saw record-breaking amounts of rainfall and caused $51 billion of damage in Texas alone.
51 billion? And they can't give me 20,000.
Expensive storm in state history.
I just want
103 people lost their lives due to the storm, and 336,000 people were left without electricity, and over 40,000 people lost their homes. Of the people that became homeless, nearly 24,000 of them were students. The McKinney-Vento Act is a federal act that says every school district must enroll homeless students, even without important documents such as proof of residency and transcripts.
Damn. That boy's smart. That boy's smart.
This act became important after Hurricane Harvey because of how many students became homeless, which brings us back to Sidney Gilstrap. When Sidney began calling around to see how he can get back into high school, he found out that he's not going to need any documentation at all as long as he tells them he's a hurricane refugee. As bad as the hurricane was, Dallas was unaffected by it, so Sidney realized that he could enroll in a Dallas school and just tell them that he was from Houston and lost his home to Hurricane Harvey. He would take his son's middle name,
That's
Sean.
That's messed up. That's
and his grandmother's last name, Richardson. And here, Rashawn Sidney Richardson was born. On August 30th,
that's gonna be my
24-year-old Sidney would
Rashawn.
enroll in Skyline High School in Dallas as 17-year-old Rashawn Richardson. Skyline had 4,700 students, so it was easy for him to blend in, but it meant more competition for him to get minutes during basketball season. He stayed there for 2 months, then on October 26th, he transferred to Richardson High School. One day later, on October 27th, he changed his mind and showed up at Hillcrest High School and began to fill out paperwork. Since he had no transcripts, he had to enroll as a freshman, and here's where he would choose to get a shot at playing high school basketball again. It didn't take long for him to make a name for himself on the basketball court. He reportedly amazed everybody at the very first team practice with his driving skills and his ability to shoot the ball. He would keep a low profile in school, barely ever going, and when he was there, he would mostly have his headphones on all day so he wouldn't blow his cover. Once the season started, however, it became impossible for him to hide. So by this point, I know everybody has the same question. Was he cooking or not? I'll be honest,
that ain't the question I had. My question was, well, all right, I'm going to give y'all my thoughts because y'all know I'm kind of up there right now. My question is, this was my question. I started answering my question. How was he enrolling in school without, you still need identification to enroll. Like, they got to be able to verify you some type of way. Social security number. This ain't like the 90s or the early 2000s. Technology is still, like, this is 2018, right? 2017, 2018. You can't verify him, but he's enrolling in school. He's going to classes. Nobody's asking this young man, like, it's crazy.
Digging, and they scraped a lot of his stats off the internet. Almost everything. But the key word here is almost. I found enough to paint a picture.
Lord have mercy.
He took it easy in his first couple games. In his first game, he would score 19 in a loss to Wilmer Hutchins. Then in the next game, he would score 13 of his team's total 24 points in a loss to Skyline, which was his original school of choice, if you remember. After these 2 games, Hillcrest would be scheduled for a weekend road trip to the Louisiana Hardwood Classic tournament, where they would play against the #1 team in the nation, Southwest Christian Academy, out of Little Rock.
No way.
Here's where things would change. According to the team manager, this is a game where Hillcrest changed their offense from their pass-heavy Princeton offense to a new give the ball to Rashawn offense. He would score 40 points in 3 quarters in an upset victory, and now Sidney, who just turned 25, is now the man at Hillcrest High School.
No way. He about to brag about it. Hold on, he about to brag about
Dropped
it.
40 in 3 quarters on the #1 team in the nation. That's true though.
Bruh, this man, 25 years old, bragging about dropping off some 15, 16, 17-year-olds.
That was in Louisiana, 40 in 3 quarters. I didn't even get to play the 4th quarter. The coach after the game shook my hand. He was like, damn, you trying to go for 60 on me? Yeah, like it was really up there. I was really hooping like this.
The following games, he would score 27 points versus Samuel High, 39 points versus Spruce, and 28 points versus Kimball, all in wins. He was absolutely dominating. Hillcrest would lose in the first round of the playoffs to Seagoville, and Rashawn would only score 17 points, and the team finished the year with a record of 11-10. But his play earned him the District 11-5A Offensive Player of the Year award.
No way, bruh. No way. I'm about to go back to high school, bro.
According to him, his final averages were outrageous.
The numbers you're putting up are crazy. What's the numbers that you're putting up around this time?
Like 35 points, 15 rebounds, and 9 assists and shit like that.
After the playoffs, he completely stopped showing up to class. He never went back to Hillcrest. He didn't even show up to get his Offensive Player of the Year award. Now, the season is over, and Sidney's mission was accomplished. He came, he had a great season. Now, he can take his game film and send it to some overseas teams and hopefully make a way for himself.
No way.
His master plan appeared to be successful until May 2018, when everything would unravel for Sidney.
Uh-oh.
The new guard playing for the Hillcrest High basketball team in Dallas this past season turned a lot of heads. He would sometimes drop 30 or more points in a game. Turns out he really was a man among boys. Tony DeCopel has the score.
It was a year to remember for Rashun Richardson, leading his basketball team to the playoffs this winter and earning the district's Offensive Player of the Year award. There was just one problem. Authorities say the supposedly 17-year-old Richardson was actually this man, 25-year-old Sidney Gilstrap Portley, looking for a second taste of athletic glory.
No way, bro. I'm tripping about this. Let me see.
May 11, 2018, at 11:52 p.m., Sidney was at his girlfriend's apartment in Mesquite when over 10 cops showed up at the door and he was arrested and charged with tampering with government records, which is a felony. It was then revealed that 17-year-old Rashun Richardson was actually 25-year-old Sidney Gilstrap Portley. By the time he bonded out a few days later, his name was getting national attention. Pretty much every major media outlet covered the story. He was even labeled Donkey of the Day by Power 105 Charlamagne the God.
No way, bro.
According
I
to
remember
reports,
this. Yeah.
A coach at North Mesquite High School, which was his original high school, recognized him at a tournament and alerted the Dallas Independent School District, and that's where things started to fall apart.
He flew under the radar until a former coach at North Mesquite High School recognized him as a former player of theirs.
Sidney, however, has another theory on who might have blown his cover.
Oh man, the coach was the coach that he used to play for that kicked him off the team originally when he was in high school recognized him at a tournament. That's crazy work.
They had it in the paper that your old coach from North Mesquite recognized you, and that's how everything got tipped off.
Yeah.
Is that true?
He wasn't even in no games, but I'm thinking this ref was at the games, and his son used to go to North Mesquite with me, and he called me to the score table, and he was like, "What's your name?" And I told him the name that I made up, which is Rashun Richardson.
Yeah.
And he was like, "You look familiar." I was like, "Nah, I'm up here from Houston or whatever." And he was like, "You sure?" I was like, "Yeah, I came up here with my brother or whatever." And he talked to me for about 20, 25 minutes, so it could have been him. And then there was another that was in my class that went to West Mesquite. He was actually at a game at the South Oak Cliff game, and he kept looking at me, so I kind of already knew.
Now, I don't know who that ref is, but he definitely said something. Maybe he wasn't the first, or he wasn't the only one to say something, but he definitely alerted authorities. Because imagine you tell somebody, "Hey, my name's Rashun, I'm from Houston," and their response is, "Are you sure?" Like, what do you mean, am I sure? So I'm with Sidney. I think the ref's the one that told everybody. But honestly, I'm surprised he even got away with it as long as he did. According to Sidney, he was well known in the city of Dallas.
So were you surprised you was able to get away with this for so long?
Hell yeah, like everybody know me. Like a lot of people know me.
Not only that, but he was also pursuing a rap career, and his rap name was Sin Boo, which is short for his first and middle name, Sidney Bouvier. His PlayStation username, which he used to play 2K and Fortnite with his teammates, was Sidney Gilstrap. He had his initials SG tattooed on his calves, which people just assumed stood for shooting guard. He was really hiding in plain sight. Some students did note that he did look a little older, but they thought nothing of it.
You look older, but when you first see someone, you don't question them.
The team manager even mentioned that on his Instagram, he took pictures like her uncle. One of the forwards on the basketball team, Avi Ahmed, who claimed to be the strongest player on the team, said that when they played against each other and when Sidney would drive to the basket, that he had never felt that kind of strength before. He also pointed out how deep Sidney's voice was.
He talks like that. His voice deep as like, yeah, I know.
So if you're wondering how he was able to get away with this for so long, you're not alone. But then again, when you're in high school, you're not expecting a grown man to go undercover as one of your classmates. Plus, everybody had people in their school that looked way older than everybody else. And if you look at Sydney, he doesn't really look that old at all.
They don't.
He was having these spectacular games, but if you look in these crowds, these games were pretty empty, which helped him stay under the radar. I'm just confused as to why he chose a school in Dallas, the city that he was born and raised in.
Hey,
Dallas
bro,
is
you-
the 9th biggest city in America, so maybe he thought he would blend in, but there's no way he thought that nobody was ever going to notice him.
Bro, like I would have, you in Texas, man, you could have went to, like you in Dallas, you could have went across the border to Oklahoma. Like, but even to do this though, man, this is crazy.
When the news broke, there were people who thought of Sydney as weird, but a lot of people were calling him brave too.
Hey, he's a legend. Literally can't fall due for trying that. He got awarded while doing respect. He beat the system. Man, America.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that most athletes have wondered how dominant they would be if they went back to high school sports.
Hey, can't lie. That is a constant theme. Like when I could go pick up a little basketball at the gym after working out and shoot around. And I'd be like, man, if I could go back and really put in that work now, like knowing everything that I know now, I was good, but I wasn't like dominant once I got to high school, especially after I tore my ACL on the court. But once I got out of high school, man, I got invited for a college basketball tryout after my freshman year. If I would never join the military, I would have transitioned into college basketball, man. Yeah, I would have been nasty too. I made all Army squad when I was in the military. I was nasty. All Army guys, it's a lot of them former D1, former pro, semi-pro, overseas. A lot of them guys get done and join the military. End up making the all Army squad. I played with some dudes, man. I was a small guard as 6'3". I was a point guard, so to tell you what type of squad we had. So yeah, I always think about though, if I could go back to high school, I probably would have never played football. I was good at football, but I probably think about it now. That's what caused my injury. But I was a dog on that court, man. Definitely, man. I'm gonna try it. Sydney, you inspired me, brother.
But that's just a quick thought. You would think nobody would ever go through the process and actually do it. If you suited up to play high school basketball, how much would you average right now? Comment down below.
Shoot, right now with these kids, if I suited up, now tip top shape me. Let's say best version of me, right? Like Sydney. Sydney was 25. 25-year-old Smook. Oh my God. Yeah. I was different. And that's only like 2 years post. That's 2 years post the last ACL injury. I was still nice. 25 to 27 when we was still getting it. But like prime Smook 24. Yeah. 23 right before the last injury. That Smook, I average in today's leagues, like in today's game. There's some crazy athletic kids out here. I'd probably be a solid bucket. I ain't gonna say nothing crazy. A solid 15 points, 8 rebounds. Yeah, 8, 9 rebounds. I used to be one of them guards on the boards. And then the way they play small ball now, that perimeter type game, the type of slasher I was, I could get up, catch lobs, all that stuff. So I say a solid 17, 9, 10 assists. I used to love dishing that rock. And probably like 3 steals a game. As fast as the game is now, and the way I used to play the passing lanes, especially being able to play at the top of the key in a lot of zone schemes, a lot of man being played now, my length, oh yeah. So I would have been a solid bucket. What about you in the chat, man? If you could go back to high school right now and play whatever your sport was, football, basketball, whatever, comment your sport in the chat and then put your averages. Yeah. Yo, I appreciate y'all for tapping in. Make sure you leave a comment. Make sure you like. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and the other YouTube channels. If you want to see more reactions, click one of these that's popped up on the screen. I promise you, you'll enjoy them. Catch you on the next one.
Roll tie all day, yeah, it's in my bones. Crimson in my veins, talking Bama in the microphone. Look me up on YouTube. True cut, straight from the stone. Ain't no selling fairy tales, I'm exposing what they want. Alabama football, yeah, I live it, yeah, I beat it. From the streets to the bleachers, every angle, yeah, I see your film study, so militant. I ain't guessing a thing. Break it down, every snap is like a coach in the team. Authenticity above all, that's where I stand. If you ain't a real fan, you'll fail with the fan. They tried to box me in and I kicked the dough off the frame. Turn the pressure into power, put my stamp on the game. Put me in the game, coach, in the game. Put me in the game, coach, Smook, that's what they saying. Put me in the game, coach, in the game. Put me in the game, coach. That's what they say.
Players and the staff are pulling up right now for today's scrimmage. Coach David Ballou in the front. Y'all can see everybody pulling up, man. And boys over there, look at Deontay.
Hey, y'all, I'm walking out of Walmart. Take what's your name, bro? Man, my name Michael McKinney, man. I'm a true Alabama fan, and this man does a good job on his podcast.
What's up, bro?
Reviewing Alabama football. Keep doing what you're doing, man.
Appreciate that, bro. Roll Tide, man.